Right now at 5, authorities in southwest Missouri bring charges against a woman in a fatal DWI crash from Christmas Eve.
And we got clouds on the way, maybe a couple of showers and a little cooler, but still overall not a bad day. Look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, a new program is launched to help support Kansans caregiving for a loved one with Alzheimer's or related dementia.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It is Wednesday. It is February the 26th. Now remember, we only have 28 days this month, not 29. That won't happen. What will that be? What will be the next 2028?
28 of February?
No.
What are you talking about?
The next time we have 20. The next time it's a leap year. I know it's every 4 years. I just can't remember when the last one was.
It was last year.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, then, okay. Yeah. So then, yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Well, anyway, hope you're having a great day and probably doing better with calendars than I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to talk about the weather, and hopefully I know a little about that. I read about it.
Still numbers are
involved. There are a lot of numbers involved. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be complicated, but I think we'll make it. Quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh. There we go. Again, on the way in, I saw the stars. We had some clear skies, but clouds beginning to increase across the areas. Our shower chances will increase just a tad as well, but otherwise looking good. MoDOT camera 20th at Range Line and Joplin, looking back to the north along Range Line. Also looking good this morning as well. Pretty sure that the majority, I think 99% of the snow is gone now, which is good because I was getting a little tired of looking at it. It was neat when it happened, but I'm glad it's over. We go through the morning into the afternoon. Like we mentioned yesterday, we're going to have that boundary passing through. It's a weak cold front. It's not going to do much for temperatures, which is good. We don't want it cold again, but it will bring us those opportunities for some isolated to widely scattered showers. I know it says here 4 o'clock there's a shower. I think they're going to be wrapped up by about 3, and then we'll just deal with mostly cloudy skies outside of that. And keep in mind, not everybody is going to see rain today. And then, again, here's that boundary, and it has created a little temperature disparity here. 42 Miami, 58 in Joplin. And we do have that mix, and here's that second half of that boundary. It's this big zone here. We got 40s, 50s across the year. So nice mild start to the day. Went outside. Boy, it was fantastic. I should have got gas this morning, not yesterday, because, boy, it was much nicer. Temperatures will fall back a little bit and eventually back into the low 40s to start the day. And as we head into this is what happened? You were right. Numbers were involved, and something's not right. This is not right. Ignore that. But yeah, none of this is right. I'm going to go find out what happened, but we're looking at highs not that warm. I'm not sure. You jinxed it. We got showers today, again, mainly before 3 p.m. Our highs upper 50s, low 60s. I'm going to find out what I didn't click because that's yesterday's information. We'll get you today's information, have a better look at your forecast, hopefully in a few more minutes, Elise.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, a Grove, Oklahoma woman is behind bars facing charges in southwest Missouri for a fatal DWI crash on Christmas Eve. Now, earlier this month, the Jasper County Prosecutor's Office filed charges against Jennifer Malpin, including felony DWI, causing the death of another, and careless and imprudent driving. Now, Malpin also faces outstanding charges in Oklahoma. The latest charges stem from a fatal crash on December 24th on Missouri 59 just south of Carthage, which took the life of a Sarcoxy man. Now, Malpin was also injured in the crash. She was initially arrested and then released to seek medical care. Now, once prosecutors filed official charges, a judge issued a warrant for Malpin's arrest. Monday night, Malpin was located in Marionville, Missouri, and booked into the Lawrence County Jail. McDonald County prosecutors amend charges against a former high school custodian after a camera was found in the girls' locker room. After analyzing all of the evidence from the scene and the defendant, Roger Copeland's home, prosecutors amended charges from felony sexual exploitation of a minor, felony possession of child pornography, and 1 count of felony invasion of privacy to 5 counts of Class E felony invasion of privacy. Investigators found no evidence of full nudity on the videos. Investigators also say the videos had not been transferred to any other device or posted to the internet. Now, if found guilty, Copeland could spend time in a state prison. He would also have to register as a sex offender. And authorities arrest an Independence Kansas man in connection with the July 2024 shooting incident following a months-long sealed case. Charles Riley Defabaugh III was taken into custody yesterday after the warrant issued in August 2024 was returned. According to documents, Defabaugh allegedly fired a gun at a man with intent to kill, wounding the victim. He also reportedly shot at an occupied vehicle. Defabaugh now faces multiple charges, including attempted first-degree murder. The Montgomery County Attorney's Office sealed the case upon filing formal charges on August 19, 2024, keeping it closed until Defabaugh's arrest. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, community members joined together to discuss the future of Carl Junction. Dozens gathered at the Carl Junction Community Center to pitch ideas and learn more about possible plans for facilities in the city. Representatives from SAP Design Architects, Algier Martin and Associates, and city staff were on hand to collect comments, many in the form of sticky notes. Now, some of the topics of discussion include improvements to CJ's parks and trails, the Frank Dean Sports Complex, and water, sewer, and stormwater projects.
What's really amazing about Carl Junction, like tonight, was how many community members did come out. That's a real good measure of how much the community is involved and how much they want to really see betterment in their town.
Now, SNAP Design Architects have been working with the city since 2008 when they designed the Carl Junction Community Center. Well, Kansans who are caregivers of a loved one with Alzheimer's or related dementia will now have access to more support thanks to a new program. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more on how the program can help.
Working with caregivers, you see the burnout happen so quickly.
Caregiving for a loved one with Alzheimer's or related dementia can be demanding.
Dementias, that it's a hard, long battle a lot of times, and there is a lot of grief that goes along with caring for someone with dementia.
The Kansas Department for Aging and Disability Services launched a program to help support caregivers of someone with Alzheimer's or related dementia.
In the form of someone coming and staying in the home with their loved one for a time, or it could be help with homemaker services or attendant care services, which would be bathing and dressing, light housework, those types of things. It can also be that the person may go to a facility for a short stay.
According to the Kansas Department for Aging and Disability Services, 55,000 people over the age of 65 are living with Alzheimer's disease or related dementia in Kansas, and it's estimated that the number will increase by 12.7% in 2025. Stacy Dickerhoof, the Associate Director of the SEK Area Agency on Aging, says this program is a huge need.
Maybe supplies that are needed that can get expensive. I mean, it's just, I think what I hear about more than the financial, though, is the emotional side of it. It's just such a hard process to deal with.
And caregivers that are interested in this program can reach out to the SEK Area Agency on Aging to find out more about getting connected to this resource.
Our coordinator of that, and she would then send you a packet with the information you need to fill out to get enrolled with the program. It's a fairly easy process. We can help people and where to send them and how to get them the information they need. We have a lot of information we can give people, resources that they may not be aware of.
Through the program, respite care costs of up to $1,000 can be covered. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Now, to be eligible, the caregiver must live in the same home as the care recipient, but an exception can be requested through the Kansas Department for Aging and Disability Services. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. The Missouri Southern softball plays its home opener against Drury. We'll have those details. Plus, Columbia police catch a man trying to smuggle over 200 grams of cocaine under his toupee. And we have a cooler and cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Missouri Southern softball is off to a 7-6 start to its 2025 season. Lions have played all 13 of those contests away from home. Beautiful day for Missouri Southern softball's home opener. Lions hosting Drury in a doubleheader. Kiki Pickens gets the start in the circle for game one. She picks up a couple of strikeouts in her first inning of work. And then in the second, there's another. However, Drury scores the first run of the game in the second. We go to the bottom. Lions need a spark, and this will help. Easton Walter sends one into right field. That drops, and she legs out a double, but would get stranded there. We go to the third. It's now 2-0. Taylor Knuckles is going to hit one sharply into right for a single. Bases are now loaded. Walters back at the plate. She skies it to right again, and it falls. 3 runs will come in to score, and Walters coasts into second with another double. That puts the Lions in front 4-2. They don't look back. Southern wins its home opener 4-3. And the Lions take game 2 of the doubleheader as well, 3-2. Southern shortstop Taylor Knuckles finishes 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. MSSU is off until Friday when it plays in Branson Showtime Tournament. And Carl Junction High School announced yesterday that 3 of its varsity sports programs will have new head coaches for the 25-26 school year. Nate Lowen will be the boys' soccer head coach. He's been an assistant for boys and girls soccer at CJ for the past 5 years. Braden Webb is the new volleyball head coach. She was an all-state setter as a student athlete at CJ and part of the 2013 state runner-up team, along with being named Class 4 Assistant of the Year last season with the Bulldogs. And Glenn Helms is the new girls soccer head coach, as he has over a decade of experience as an assistant with CJ and with local club teams. Moving over to Kansas high school basketball for the second night in a row. We had a top 10 matchup between a couple of our local teams. Girard girls basketball goes on the road and takes down Colgan 44-32. Trojans avenge a loss from the Panthers from last month, and these two teams share the 24-25 CNC League Championship. This is the final regular season game for both squads. Sub-state tournaments begin on Thursday. And once again, we've got some news on the Travis Kelce front at the NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis. Chiefs General Manager Brett Veach and head coach Andy Reid each explained their thoughts on whether or not their star tight end will return next season.
How we left at the end of the season is that he was fired up. He has one more year under contract, and still think he has that fire and desire to play. And as far as I'm concerned, there is no deadline. I think we left it as he'd be back, and we're excited to get him back and get him going.
At this point, you get out of town and relax. You know, that's kind of my motto for these guys. They played a lot of games and a lot of, for a consistent amount of seasons here. And so you get to the end of the thing, you've exhausted yourself mentally and physically. Step back and take care of that, then we'll talk.
Well, still to come, a new study reveals that ultra-processed foods make up over half of American diets. Plus, another look at that forecast, some rain chances, and that warm weather when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:18 now on this Wednesday morning. And what I did is kind of like a PC. I shut myself down, I restarted, and I have fixed the glitch earlier with those numbers. I'm not sure what I didn't do. You know, sometimes you put something in, but then you forget to hit save. You just close it. I think that's what I did. But it's all right. It's been fixed. We're going to start, though, this live look from downtown Pittsburgh. Looking okay so far. Here before too much longer, we're going to bring in the Skywatch Storm Tracker because it's still a ways away, but I think during our show this morning, we'll start to get those showers rolling in. But there are some showers in between Hutchinson and Wichita. So next time I see you, we'll take a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker, see where those are. But not in our area yet. We're looking good. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin as well. So here's the future track. We're going to have isolated to widely scattered showers, a couple of sprinkles here or there. Not everybody's going to see rain. What everybody will see is the cloud cover, and that will keep us a little cooler. So we do have a weak cold front coming through, and I say weak because if it was anything like what we have seen, then these temperatures would plummet, and that's not going to be the case. They're just going to be a little cooler because we're not going to have nearly as much sunshine. I think the majority of any rain chances are done before 3 o'clock, and then we'll start to clear out overnight, which will allow our temperatures to fall. We've talked about the clouds and the blanket they provide, trapping in the warmer air. Well, once they go away, it's still wintertime. Temperatures are going to fall back a bit, back into the 30s to start our Thursday. Now, tomorrow, it's going to be a little breezy. Those northwest winds increase. Our temperatures, not that dissimilar from today. The key difference tomorrow is it will certainly look a lot warmer because we're going to look at that. There's nothing on the future track. Just nothing but sunshine out there as we head through our Thursday. And that pattern repeats as we go into Friday. So because of that, eventually the winds will shift back out of the southwest. We're going to have gusty winds once again on Friday, but we're also going to have nothing but sunshine. And with the south winds bringing in warmer air, we'll actually begin to warm up a bit. But take a look at these wind arrows. If you got something planned for Friday, obviously don't cancel it. Look, it's just sunny. But you also want to keep in mind that whatever you may be doing, especially if you're planning to go out and enjoy this, it's going to be quite windy throughout the day on Friday. Here's that big boundary that we've got. We've got two wind shift lines out there, and so we do have some another round of temperature disparities. We've got 41 in Miami and 58 in Joplin, 59 in Carthage right now is one of the warmer spots. Miami, again, one of the cooler spots. Most of us, though, upper 40s and low 50s, so a pretty nice start to the day. We're going to go through the 50s, kind of just, again, with the clouds, we won't warm up as quickly. It'll be a slower warm up, but we will still be decent. We'll just have mostly cloudy skies and some isolated to widely scattered showers out there. Highs upper 50s, low 60s, and again, showers should be done by 3, maybe 4 at the latest. And again, not everybody's even going to see rain, and what we do see won't be a lot. Skies will begin to clear not until late this evening and overnight, and again, that'll make it a little colder. So temperatures initially slow to fall, and then once those clouds go away, they fall pretty quickly. Northwest winds tonight, and we'll have mild conditions, pretty decent Thursday, Friday, a little cooler into the weekend, but believe it or not, this is a little closer to normal. Keep an eye on those shower chances, maybe a couple of thunderstorms next week, and temperatures will warm and then drop again, but still not bad. We're not going to be below average at any point really on this forecast, at least not significantly below average. Let's check up that forecast. We'll be back with Health Watch after this.
Well, topping Health Watch this morning, ultra-processed foods make up more than half of Americans' diets. Now that's the findings from a new study from the Johns Hopkins School of Public Health. Researchers looked at the eating patterns of more than 34,000 Americans, both at home and away from home. Now, ultra-processed foods have little or no nutritional value, things like chips, sugary cereals, and many types of bread. Now, researchers determined minimally processed foods made up nearly 35% of participants' at-home calorie intake in 2003. Now, that amount dropped to just shy of 30% in 2018. Consuming large amounts of ultra-processed food has been associated with chronic disease. The study is one of the most extensive looks at how processing levels have shifted in American diets. Well, it's the last week of February, and before American Heart Month ends, experts want to bring awareness to a condition that many people may have without even knowing it. Mandy Gaither explains what to know about the most common genetic heart condition in the U.S.
It's often called a silent killer. Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy is often a genetic condition affecting about 1 in 500 people in the U.S. It causes a heart muscle to thicken, making it harder to pump blood.
The thick heart muscle itself create rhythm issues. So these patients' heart can go out of rhythm into some deadly heart rhythms sometimes. And can cause sudden cardiac death.
Dr. Saeed Al-Sadawi with Mayo Clinic says only a fraction of people with this condition are actually diagnosed. He says symptoms can include shortness of breath, chest pain, lightheadedness, dizziness, or passing out, especially during exercise or other exertion. But in many cases, he says there are no signs until a sudden cardiac arrest.
Unfortunately, we keep seeing either people not seeking attentions, physician not diagnosing it on time, or not recognizing the diagnosis despite having the appropriate imaging.
If you have a first-degree relative, like a parent with this condition, Al-Sadawi says that raises the risk you'll also have it, so he says genetic testing is important.
Now, the challenge becomes we have people who have no family members who have the condition, and they have no symptoms. So how do we know somebody has hypertrophic cardiomyopathy? This is a big area now of investigation.
While that research continues, Al-Sadawi says patients should advocate for themselves, and if symptoms are present, seek medical help. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Now, if diagnosed, there is treatment that can allow the patient to live a normal life. Now, that includes medication, surgery, and in severe cases, heart transplantation. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
We got a pretty decent start to the day. Clouds increasing as showers begin to roll in. Another look at your forecast when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, young poets in Southwest Missouri give voice to their skills during a regional competition.
And we've got another pretty decent start to the day. Mild out there. Rain chances on the way. A look at the forecast. Get you out the door. Coming up.
Plus, the Bourbon County community turns out for a good cause and some good fun.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It is Wednesday. It's February the 26th. Happy almost into February.
Yes.
It doesn't feel like it. Don't get me wrong. Our average high should be in the low 50s, so it's a little milder than what most people I think would associate with February. But we've been well above that here lately.
It's been so nice, inching closer to spring.
Slowly but
I'm ready
surely.
for it.
I still, as I mentioned, I don't want to ruin anybody's day, but I do think we've got one more snow event. I've talked with Doug. He kind of thinks the same thing. We got maybe one more in March, and then we should be done with all that business.
Oh, I hope so.
The good news is we don't have it on the horizon, at least not immediately. So that's also some nice news. Let's get you out the door for your Wednesday, starting with a live look outside in downtown Pittsburgh. We're looking okay so far. Everything's dry. Clouds gradually increasing. Some of us still have some clear skies out there, but again, we're going to start to see more clouds. We're going to start to see a few more showers. Now, bear in mind, though, not everybody is necessarily going to see rain today, but at least some of us will get a few showers. MoDOT camera 20 at the range line, looking pretty good as well. So here's Skywatch Storm Track. That's what I was talking about. We've got this rain here. Parts of Greenwood and Elk County, I don't know how much of this is actually reaching the ground. We do have some heavier showers, at least some that are probably reaching the ground northeast of Wichita. All of this is continuing to push off to the east, so it will begin to work into our area. We'll have a few isolated and widely scattered showers out there. And again, the other side of it is the clouds are increasing, of course, with all of this as well. So a few isolated, widely scattered showers, nothing crazy out there with this weak cold front that's going to come through. And again, it's not going to be enough to drop our temperatures, and the only reason we're going to be a little cooler today is just because of all the cloud cover. We're not going to see much sunshine out there. Showers should be done by 4 at the latest. Then we'll just have mostly cloudy skies. And again, not everybody will see rain. And we won't start to see any clearing until late this evening into the overnight hours. So here's those boundaries. We got a couple of wind shift lines out there. Temperatures, most of us upper 40s, low 50s. We have some cooler spots. Miami Grove, for example, both sitting into the low 40s. But again, otherwise, not a bad start to the day at all. Carthage at 59. It's almost 60 right now for February. Quite mild, to say the least. We're looking at about, I told you I'd fix this too, and it is fixed. 50 when the kids get on the bus. South breeze 5 to 10. Mostly cloudy, maybe a few sprinkles, a few showers again when the bus brings them home, about 61. Again, we'll have the south winds ahead of the boundaries. Behind it, we're going to have north winds at 5 to 10. Highs today, upper 50s, low 60s, and again, by about 4 showers should be done, and we'll just be left with those mostly cloudy skies for the evening. We will clear out, which means that we'll get a little colder tonight, and then it's going to warm up again, and we're going to do a little ballet with our temperatures over the next few days. Details on that, plus next week's rain chances here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, potholes are more likely to appear after a big snow, making them a common hazard this time of year. Now, they can cost you hundreds of dollars in repair, but there's one thing you can do now to minimize that risk. Now, check out your spare tire. Now, according to AAA, more than 1,400 Kansas drivers needed a tow because they didn't have a usable spare. Well, fishing holes across the 4 states are gearing up for another exciting fishing season. Now, to help get you ready, we sat down with experts from Bud's Bait and the Missouri Department of Conservation in Joplin to find out everything you need to know to reel in that perfect catch.
Know your regulations. Certain species have certain sizes. They have limits. You can only keep so many. Know those too, right? You can't just fish. Whatever you catch, you keep. That's not the way fishing works in Missouri.
Well, you're going to have a rod and a reel based on what kind of fish you're trying to catch, and then your baits and your lures are just imitations. So what we're trying to do is imitate food sources, bait fish that fish are normally looking for to eat, and or trying to trigger responses.
Skalicki says if you're a first-time fisher, there are plenty of people in the 4 states willing to help. He says all you have to do is ask. Well, young poets brought a strong voice to the Harry M. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex in Joplin yesterday. High school competitors brought their best vocal presentation to the Poetry Out Loud Regionals, a national poetry competition designed to improve public speaking skills, help build confidence, and teach the kids about literacy, history, and contemporary life.
Students really work with their teachers to understand the poem and be able to recite it with the knowledge of what the poem is about. And so we have judges here that will judge them on a specific rubric that has been, developed by Poetry Out Loud.
The competition was free and open to the public. Well, yesterday, Bourbon County Emergency Services came together to support one of their own at a chili feed benefit during the Fort Scott High School basketball game. Now, first responders were serving chili, Frito chili pie, hot dogs, and more. All proceeds help Sarah Long, a public safety dispatcher, and her 8-year-old son, Jareth, who is undergoing cancer treatment after surgery to remove a kidney.
It's just absolutely amazing. When my coworkers started putting this together, I had no idea they were putting it together, first of all. And they just came together so quickly, and it really makes you feel loved.
Jareth is being treated at Children's Mercy, and on February 6th, he underwent surgery to have his right kidney removed. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The U.S. and Ukraine have agreed to a framework deal for Ukraine's rare earth minerals. Plus, Pope Francis's health is improving and he was well enough to start working again. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Well, topping World Watch, a hair-raising drug bust in Colombia Monday after authorities catch a man smuggling cocaine in his toupee. The 40-year-old man was arrested at an airport in Cartagena while preparing to board a flight to Amsterdam. Now, a scanner revealing 220 grams of cocaine packed in small bags meticulously hidden under his wig. The police estimate the street value of the cocaine at over $10,000. They say the man has a prior record, including 2 previous drug trafficking convictions. And the U.S. and Ukraine reached a draft deal over access to Ukraine's rare earth minerals. Now, this according to senior Ukrainian officials. The agreement is expected to open up an opportunity for the U.S. to continue sending military aid to Ukraine. The preliminary agreement comes just days after President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky exchanged jabs at each other as Washington seems to grow closer with Moscow. Now, with Trump describing Zelensky as a, quote, dictator, and Zelensky claiming Trump lives in a, quote, disinformation bubble. Now, the deal does not give U.S. $500 billion worth of profits from minerals like Trump wanted, but rather provides for the U.S. and Ukraine to have joint ownership of a fund, with Ukraine giving parts of its proceeds from minerals, oil, and gas in the future. And Pope Francis's health continues to improve, with the Vatican saying the Holy Father was well enough to work Tuesday. Jeff Paul has more from Rome.
Another day of prayer inside and outside Rome's Gemelli Hospital, where Pope Francis remains hospitalized with double pneumonia.
For believers, prayer is the oxygen of our life. It is hope.
Tuesday, Vatican officials reported Pope Francis was well enough to receive the Eucharist and work. The pontiff even holding a meeting to approve new decrees for possible saints. It's a major change from his respiratory crisis over the weekend, when an asthmatic episode required him to get heavy doses of oxygen.
Those in intensive care remain under guarded prognosis for a long time. He's not in intensive care, and this is already a good sign.
While stable, the Vatican says the 88-year-old remains in critical condition. His prognosis described as, quote, reserved. His age and pre-existing lung issues make his health and recovery extremely fragile. On Tuesday night, he had a follow-up CT scan to check his lung infection, but the Vatican gave no further details.
For me, it is somewhat sad news about the health of the Holy Father, but we as Christians always have hope with our prayers and our presence here.
While the Pope rests, Catholics from around the world are rallying together in Rome to pray for his recovery.
We came here from France for a pilgrimage. We were already there at St. Peter's Square, and since we know that our Pope is here at the hospital, we thought to also come here to pray for him.
Despite the Pope being in stable condition, daily vigils are still being held both here at Gemelli Hospital and at St. Peter's Square as Catholics pray for the Pope's full recovery.
That's a look at World Watch. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 5:44 now on this Wednesday morning. Start with Skywatch Storm Tracker. Again, getting some light sprinkles. Some of this maybe not necessarily reaching the ground, but continuing to push off to the east. You can see the darker greens here in between Wichita and Emporia. That's where we are getting some rain that is reaching the ground. A few showers out there. Now, these showers necessarily won't be the ones that will go through the entire area, but they're part of the whole boundary that's going to bring us the opportunity for showers. Now, I wanted to throw the satellite on so you can see where in some places we still have some clear skies. So again, when I was driving this morning, that's why skies were looking clear over Joplin, but clouds continuing to increase, and our shower chances, they're not the greatest shower chances in the world, but they are shower chances, and I think by about 4, they'll be done. So between here and there, and you can see on the future track, isolated to widely scattered at best. So not everybody is going to see rain today, but some of us will. But what all of us will see is the mostly cloudy skies. Ahead of our boundary that's coming through with these shower chances, we'll have south winds at 5 to 10. Behind it, as we go through the morning, and as you can see by noon, that boundary already through, we'll have north winds. This boundary not going to plummet our temperatures. It's going to be cooler, yes, but it's not plummeting our temperatures to anything like what we saw last week. In fact, we're still going to be above average today. Mostly cloudy skies will continue through the majority of the day, but overnight, and that's where our problem, if you will, comes up, is the clouds clear out. And they do so rather quickly once we get past about 11 o'clock midnight. And so with that said, the clouds, they act as that thermal blanket. We're going to be mild. That's why it's warm this morning. It's not bad out there. They'll keep the warm air in, but once those clouds are gone, temperatures will be able to drop without that blanket to keep warm air down. And so we're going to be back a little colder tomorrow morning, mid-upper 30s to start the day. We're still going to be a little cool tomorrow, but nonetheless above normal. We'll have gusty northwest winds pushing 20 at times, but otherwise a pretty decent day. No clouds, nothing out there. Beautiful. Sunshine, just a bit breezy. And that will copy into our Friday, except Friday it'll be a little warmer as we now get southwest winds. They'll be gusty as well, and our temperatures getting back into the upper 60s for many of us as we head into the afternoon hours. So another gorgeous day. Look at that, some low 70s once again possible. Another just beautiful day out there. And again, not a bad start this morning as that boundary starts to push its way through. There it is. Again, and you can see it's not having a major impact on temperatures whatsoever. The warm spot still looks to be Carthage at 59 this morning. Miami has been the cool spot at 43. And just taking a quick scan, looks like you still are the cool spot, but you've come up a couple of degrees. But otherwise, again, not a bad start. Upper 40s, low 50s for February to start the day, considering that low 50s are where our highs should be. Not bad. Low 50s to start, mostly cloudy, a few showers, about 60 by 11 o'clock this morning. Highs today, upper 50s, low 60s, same tomorrow, just more sunshine. Warmer Friday, look cooler this weekend. And we've got increasing rain chances next week, maybe a thunderstorm or two. And again, there's still that slight possibility of a strong storm or two. It's not looking fantastic, but it is something we'll continue to keep an eye on for you. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more after this.
Well, for your movie news and more now, here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
I was just laughing because Mark was spending so much time talking about his limited role in Seven.
Rumors of Lucasfilm leader Kathleen Kennedy's departure may be premature. A source tells CNN there's nothing there right now regarding reports of her retirement. No comments from Lucasfilm or Disney. Kennedy has been president of Lucasfilm for a dozen years, overseeing the newest Star Wars trilogy and the franchise's expansion into streaming.
It's an epic journey across Earth's great supercontinent, our home.
The unmistakable voice of Tom Hanks guides us through the wildlife documentary series, The Americas. Executive producer Mike Gunton says the Oscar winner was part of his original vision.
Written in my notebook, I had Tom Hanks to narrate this. I didn't actually say that in the pitch, but that was what even back then, I thought he was the right person. He is. He's the voice of America. He's the voice of all of us.
Every day, I get to wake up in the best place on earth. Holland, Michigan.
This charming Dutch town in the upper Midwestern U.S. may not be as picture-perfect as it seems in the first trailer for Holland. Nicole Kidman, Matthew McFadden, and Gael Garcia Bernal star in the twisted, tulip-filled thriller, which plants itself on Prime Video March 27th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, a missing cat makes a surprise return after making an incredible journey. Shrink wrapped inside of a couch moved thousands of miles across the nation. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
A family is breathing a sigh of relief after their cat, missing for several weeks, was found in an unlikely place, inside a couch shipped cross-country. You gotta be kidding me! It started when the Hansons were moving from Washington to Colorado. On the day the movers arrived, the family's cat, Sunny Lou, vanished. Exhausting all search options, the Hansons were forced to leave Washington without Sunny Lou. Or so they thought. 3 weeks later, when the furniture arrived, they heard a surprise yoo-hoo from Sunny Lou.
I heard a meow.
The calling cat was discovered inside the family's couch, shipped cross-country with the feline stowaway shrink-wrapped inside. Thousands of miles with no food or water, Sunny Lou was weak, but alive, and is now back in its loving family's arms following one truly odd odyssey. An unlucky dog is lucky to have found some help from some Wisconsin cops after getting its head stuck in a treat jar in an apparent attempt to nab the last milk bone. The bone-headed predicament was solved with some tools and a little elbow grease, and in no time flat, Murphy was freed. When asked to describe what the ordeal was like, the dog replied simply, rough. Finally, being a teenage girl can be rough. Most men wouldn't know, but this Alaska teacher now has a better idea of what some young women suffer through without easy access to essential menstrual products. A group of Anchorage students fundraising for just that picked this beloved male teacher and hooked him up to a menstrual cramp simulator, and low-voltage hilarity ensued. So far, the students' efforts have raised thousands towards their goal, thanks in part to this shocking but enlightening simulation.
That hurts!
For Take a Look at This.
What are you looking at?
I'm Jerry.
Stick around, we'll be right back. Well, a rock formation resembling a puppy turns into an internet sensation. Now look closely and you'll see part of a mountain in western China shaped like a dog's head resting on the water's edge. Now, a photo of the cute canine has gone viral after a Shanghai-based designer posted a photo on Valentine's Day with the caption, Puppy Mountain. Now, the post has drawn millions of views on the Chinese social media app Red Note and other platforms. The Puppy Rock Formation lies along the Yangtze River, the longest river in China, and it's attracting a lot of pet owners who have been posing with their pups from a nearby observation deck. And a college basketball player with only one arm makes history on the court. Bailey Cinnamon Daniel attends Lesley University in Massachusetts. Now, her head coach, Martin Rather, says the 22-year-old guard is the first women's Division III basketball player with one arm to score in a collegiate game. Now, to make it to the historic moment, immediately after making the shot, Coach Rather called a timeout to celebrate her accomplishment. Now, she hopes more people facing similar challenges will be inspired by her accomplishments.
Certainly an impressive accomplishment indeed, and still plays much better than I ever could. So that is just amazing. We do have some rain chances today. A few showers already beginning to work in. These are going to be isolated, so not everybody will see rain, but we'll otherwise deal with the mostly cloudy skies. Low 50s to start, about 60 by 11. The thing is, temperatures don't move much more beyond that. We're going to go upper 50s, low 60s for highs. Showers should be done by 4 at the latest. And ahead of the boundary, we have north winds 5 to 10, or sorry, my gosh. South winds 5 to 10, and behind it we'll have north winds 5 to 10. After the rain wraps up, skies will eventually begin to clear late tonight, so temperatures slow to fall initially, but as the skies clear, we'll drop back down into the 30s overnight. Into tomorrow, upper 50s, low 60s again. Breezy and sunny tomorrow and Friday, much warmer Friday. A little cooler this weekend, more rain next week. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.